What's going on, mate? This is Riley Knight from the podcast Half-Assed History, here to have a bit of a chat with you about the heroes featured in Hidden Cup 5. All the heroes the players are using to hide their true identities are real-life people from history featured as units in various Age of Empires campaigns. And while T90 is an avid history lover, his knowledge and memory of history would pretty firmly make him a historical low elo legend, I think it's fair to say. So he invited me along to tell you a thing or two about these heroes we're watching square off against one another. Let's get to know one of them a little bit better. Selim I of the Ottoman Empire was a famous Turkish sultan who had a huge impact on the empire's history thanks to both his internal reforms and his external conquests. Born in 1470, he took the throne in 1512 after more or less forcing his old man Bayezid II to abdicate, and he did this by, quite literally, massing janissaries, a classic Turk technique. Selim won over the imperial janissaries and convinced them to support him rather than his dad. And this wasn't the last time that his ambition propelled his career to new heights, as you'll see. But in 1512, he inherited a realm that was in turmoil, with unrest throughout the empire and enemies circling outside it. The Safavid Empire, for instance, with the Persian Ismail I at the helm, they came into conflict with Selim, which resulted in the Safavids and the Ottomans clashing in the Battle of Chalan in 1514. And this famous battle is actually represented in-game. It's the fifth scenario of the Ismail campaign, and I don't want to spoil too much for you here, but the Turks absolutely wiped the floor with the Persians, and this was principally thanks to the power of Turkish gunpowder. So, I mean, no wonder he beat the Persians, right? They're in Arabia, Civ, but he brings them to an arena game. He's bloody castle dropping me. He's castle dropping them, and their vills are dying. And look, whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is, no wonder, right? No wonder the Persians go down to the Turks with the power of their gunpowder. Anyway, the win at Chalan not only enormously bolstered Selim's authority, but allowed the Ottomans to annex a huge amount of Safavid land, and it also resulted in a heated rivalry and decades of military conflict between the two empires. Selim, however, he wasn't just going to stop at fighting the Safavids. He didn't only expand into the east, into Persian lands, but also into the southwest, into the Mamluk Sultanate in the Levant and Egypt. And this campaign against the Mamluks saw Selim annex not a part of, but all of their lands, completely conquering the Sultanate and absorbing it into his empire by 1517. He got his conquest done very quickly. He was just, again, going full sweat lord, castle dropping people on arena. It's just, okay, look, it's fine, part of the game. It's just what happens, right? It's okay, we can move on. Anyway, Selim. He expanded Ottoman territory enormously. He began to style himself with the title Servant of the Two Holy Cities, as both Mecca and Medina, the two holiest cities in the Islamic faith, were now under Ottoman authority. And between his victories over both the Safavids and the Mamluks, Selim didn't do a lot of losing. But there's a reason that he's known to history as the Grim, rather than anything else. He wasn't a very nice bloke, quite aside from the whole, castle dropping everyone on arena thing. He also dethroned his own father. He had a terrible temper. He had a bad habit of executing people, lots of people, particularly his religious enemies. As a dedicated Sunni Muslim, he did massacre a lot of Shias, but he killed Sunnis too, continuing the proud Ottoman tradition of fratricide, for example, by killing his own brothers when he came to power, so they wouldn't be a threat to his rule. And this worked. No one stood up to contest Selim's rule at any point. He was able to get a lot done as a result, and not just in terms of conquest. He undertook a whole lot of internal reform, tax reform, land reform, military reform, and this helped to centralise and strengthen imperial authority, as well as laying the groundwork for his successor to propel the Ottoman Empire to even greater heights. When Selim died in 1520, his son Suleiman the Magnificent took the Ottoman throne, guiding the empire into a golden age, further expanding and modernising it. But with this, we're well and truly into Age of Empires 3 territory when talking about Suleiman, as magnificent as he was. Selim the Grim was an effective and successful ruler. There's no denying that, and he left behind a powerful legacy that helped the Ottomans rise to become a major power in the coming centuries. But he was also a brutal and uncompromising figure, very well named as the Grim, whose successes came off the back of rivers of spilt blood. Will Selim be grim enough in Hidden Cup 5 and spill enough blood to claim yet another victory? We'll find out as Hidden Cup 5 continues.